It's the Vegas Lūau. What's up, gang? Big Teeze and Puʻukani checking in for action. Welcome to our podcast, live from Las Vegas.
That's right. You know what? We want to say mahalo nui loa to everybody that checked out the last podcast that we did, which was our Pa'ina 2 on gambleisms. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check them out.
Tell your friends too, eh?
Yeah, we talked about the ups and downs of gambling, right? And we wanted to kind of continue along that path about the ups and downs in Vegas, right?
So we're doing the pros and cons, my brother. Okay, so I know you lived here for about 40 years already. You already grandfathered into this bad boy right here. But
2002, December 1st, 2002 is when we officially moved. So yeah, we're talking going on 23 years, man.
Man, okay. Yeah. Me, I am going on 1 year pretty soon. This is 1 year.
You're such a baby, bro. But a lot of people will call us up, hey, we're coming into Vegas, or a lot of people will ask us, hey, we're thinking about moving to Vegas. What do you think? And we normally say, well, these are some of the reasons why we love being here, some of the pros. These are some of the cons you got to watch out. So let's dive into that, all right?
Yeah, so this all started from when, Ninth Island Connections on Facebook. That Facebook group is a huge, upside.
Resource,
great resource for people asking questions about Hawaii.
Right.
And the most things that I saw on there was people moving here.
Yeah.
And they would ask questions about what's the pros and cons. So,
right. My family and I were moving this December. What can you guys tell me about it? Everybody chimes in. Yeah. Okay.
And so on my end, I'll start with the pros. My pros.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start with all the good news. There's a lot of great reasons for people to move here. So what do you got?
You know what I really love about moving here, that there's no clock. I'm not talking about the clock in a casino.
Right, which there isn't in the casino.
Yeah.
So you're
but time-wise, it's like, like for me, I'm a night owl. I'm always up, in the later hours of the night. But there's always something to do in Vegas.
That's right, yeah.
For instance.
The city that never sleeps. It doesn't, right, yeah.
And it's like, sometimes like 1 in the morning or even midnight, 11 p.m., I would say it would be my usual. Be like, hey, we'll go to the casino.
Yeah.
And you always get something open for eat. You can eat at the casino and people watch. So that's a big one that I like about that. Even like when Mio just got here too, my wife, it's times where we just chilling and we say, like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we'll go shoot the cruise. That's the thing. And always get something to do, especially with the casinos always open.
I'm trying to think, is there any other state that just kind of never sleeps? Like
they say New York is that too, right?
New York too? Okay. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But over here, it's like, seriously, there's so many things that you can do. Try out. I like trying out newer casinos.
Yeah.
So I always try to see if, when I'm feeling that way,
right.
And then I would go like, you know what, instead of our neighborhood casinos, because my neighborhood casino is Sunset and Green Valley.
Right.
But sometimes I like to go, go try out some, a new spot and all that. So I think that's a pretty cool thing I like about over here.
Yeah, you're right. I like the fact that there's always something to do. Like, what is the latest you've ever, like you guys were sitting down, like, let's go out.
Actually leave the house.
Yeah.
I would say 3 a.m.
Oh, my gosh.
3 a.m. we had one where we said, we'll go. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's die hard. Like 3 a.m., hey, we go casino. And you guys say, wow.
And the thing empty. But the only downside to that, and I mean it's not really a con, but when you get there, your games, sometimes they're cashing out the machines.
Right, yeah. Do you ever feel pressured, like you're playing the game and then they start putting the boxes around you? Like, come on, bro, hurry up.
I don't, my machine hot. But that's one thing that I like. That's my first pro.
You know what I like about being in Las Vegas, and this is definitely a pro for me, is we're closer to family here because you can drive anywhere, literally, on the continent.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You can literally on the continent, you can drive. So if you have family in New York and you want to drive, it's going to be a couple of days, or maybe a week to get there, but you can drive.
Road tripping up here is what I love, man.
Right.
I mean, like, for me, it came from St. George. So that was an easy drive. St. George, Utah.
Right. Is that 4 or 5 hours?
2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours on the nose.
That is easy.
So it's only 100 miles.
Okay.
So 100-mile drive, and then the midway, I would say, and it was not really midway, but it's Mesquite.
Mesquite. Mesquite is part of Nevada, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Like,
so when you go to St. George, you kind of cross 3 states. I mean, are you in 3 states?
Utah, is it Arizona?
Arizona for a 30-mile stretch, and then you hit Nevada.
So you're going through Arizona. What part of Arizona are you going through?
I think it's called Littlefield.
Okay.
Littlefield, Arizona. Yeah. Small little town over there, but yeah. So that's a cool thing, That's what I like. Yeah, that's some good point, man.
Yeah. So
even LA.
Yeah. My wife's family is from LA, so it was one of the big reasons why when we decided to move away from Hawaii, we were thinking, okay, either we stay in Hawaii, we go to California where your family is, or we find somewhere else. And Vegas is where my sister and my mom moved first, so we're like, okay, Vegas is kind of the middle there, right?
Middle ground.
So, and anytime we want to visit I was telling her, anytime we want to visit your family, we can literally jump in a car and 4 hours later we're there. You know what I mean? And that's with stopping at, normally when we drive out to LA, we'll stop at Barstow, which is kind of the middle Barstow, point. The Barstow station. They have that McDonald's and the gift shops there.
Right.
Food court.
Danny's or whatever.
Yeah. So I like one of the biggest pros is I like that if you want to visit family and friends in other states, you can literally jump in your car and go, as opposed to Hawaii, you got to fly everywhere, right?
And then, moving here and then going back home to visit, you realize, oh man, kind of claustrophobic now. Like when I go back, it's like, you're stuck on the island. And, you've seen everything.
Well, you're excited to fly. Like I'm always excited to fly back home, right? Any reason to go back home, I'm for it. But then after maybe about 4 or 5 days, then you remember like, okay, that's why I moved. You see all the traffic. Oh, that's why I moved. Yeah, you're right. You feel like you're stuck on the island. Yeah, but here up in Vegas, you can drive to any one of the other 49 states.
Yeah, man. Like literally, you just go.
There you go. Yeah. So that's one of my pros there. Yeah.
Oh man, I like the other thing about moving up here is the food selection. I couldn't believe it, man. I mean, it's like we're home in Hawaii.
Yeah.
There's everything.
We get all the Hawaii foods and you get all the world cuisines.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't miss anything as far as poke. I mean, the best of the best is here.
Right.
In fact, I gotta say something.
Okay. I think I know where you're going, but go ahead.
I prefer the food over here. I prefer the local selections up here. It seems like it's made with more passion to me. That's just my opinion. I feel like because they're away from home, they like represent. So like one good example of that would be like let's say like Shidem at 2 Scoops of Aloha. It's made with so much pride that local people, you go there and you can just tell that they do the extra. They give the extra.
Because they know they're representing more than just themselves, right? So when they put out dishes, like you're right.
And
you can kind of tell when they're cooking with pure Aloha and or if they're just cooking to mass production. Right.
And they're feeling good that, hey, I get on restaurant up here in Vegas. And not only Hawaiian food, though. I mean, just, like the Korean food. I mean, they got my meat June. I need that bugger right there. And of course, Zippy's is here. It's just like...
You know what? It's funny. It's like I know the biggest debate. Like a lot of people say, Zippy's up here. It's just not the same as back home. But then I've found out because I've worked with them as far as helping them open all these, their new locations. Which, by the way, a third location is coming up near Pipeline to Paradise Radio, about 2 miles down the road, maybe a mile and a half down the road. So excited about that. We'll talk about it more. But a lot of the cooks that were back home in Hawaii are the cooks up here. But a lot of people say, it's just not the same. Maybe some dishes, I agree, but
I don't know the difference. Like I'm the type where it is what it is.
Right.
I'm not picky.
What is your favorite restaurant here? I mean, any restaurant. It doesn't have to be even locally based.
Well, my go-to that I would say that I ate more at, I would say, besides L&L, of course, by my house, but I always make it a point to, let me see.
Wait, there's an L&L close to where you live now?
Yeah, go an L&L, like literally right up the road.
Okay.
On Horizon.
Got it. Okay.
There. So, what is my fave? My go-to, every time when I come over here too, especially when we're at our first meeting, Night Island Grill.
Ninth Island Grill. Is a good spot, that's actually a spot that I always go to. And every time I go there, I love their loco moco. Oh, bagay is so ono.
I get choked. And then I go Thai with 2 scoops of Aloha because that's the most that I think I eat those two more.
Yeah. Okay, I like that.
And good selections.
Definitely food selections. Something. Have you ever gone to the Strip and eaten at any restaurants on the Strip?
No. You know what? To tell you the truth, I never ate.
I thought that would be your answer too, because like when you live here, it's a little different, right? You don't go to the Strip as often, right?
Yeah. I noticed that. I remember living in Hawaii, and I would visit my friends.
Right.
That live up here, and you know what they would say? They don't even go to the casinos. They always off strip. What's that called? Off strip,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, off strip, more local neighborhoods,
Yeah,
local
yeah, yeah.
casinos. Yeah. It's not a bucket list for me, but because we've been here so long and we haven't really gone to restaurants on the strip, that's something that I want to do more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I was telling my wife, we need to take advantage of Las Vegas, which is our backyard.
Yeah.
Literally, like people save thousands and thousands of dollars just to come here to Las Vegas, and that's a 10-minute drive away from
I
us, the
know.
main strip. So every once in a while, although we don't go to the strip often, we got to. We got to take advantage of it. It's a
Check it out,
staycation, as we talk about
staycation.
it. Yeah.
And it's like me and Mio. Every time she comes back over here, we always tell herself, let's try something. Of course, in that area, like the Sphere, someplace we never went to.
Right.
And all that. But
Yeah,
I'll get to the cons about that soon.
Yeah. Okay. Another big pro that I wanted to say about coming to Las Vegas,
Yeah.
and if you're thinking about moving here too, a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to miss my family and friends. But here's the thing. When you live Hawaii, when it's time to do a vacation, majority of the time, it's normally Disneyland or Las Vegas,
Oh, Vegas,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so majority of the times, your
they come
family
here.
and friends, they will
Yeah,
come
they
here.
be here.
There's always somebody coming in.
That's true.
Every month. Hey, Brother Puʻukani, I'm going to be coming in September. You think we can hook up? We'll get some grinds.
Exactly.
Or show me the hot spots. And so somebody, whether it be your family or your close friends, are always flying in. So
Yeah.
that's a pro because they're coming here.
Yeah, since I moved here, I would say every 2 weeks somebody was coming up. Hey,
Right,
we're gonna be over
right.
there, or they give you the heads up. Hey, we're gonna be
Yeah,
over there. Go check us
yeah,
out or
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, so that's a great pro right there.
Right.
Speaking of like friends and family, another pro that I have here is that they're here. I have great friends and
That's a good
awesome
point. Yeah,
Ohana that
they've moved here. Yeah,
and
okay.
it's like, honestly, for me, again, this is my opinion and my experience living here is that they're here, my good kind. I mean, not just regular friends.
Who
I
are
mean,
some of the friends
I mean,
that you call family that's here?
Yeah, the Silvas.
The Silvas.
So I gotta go with Tim Silva. He's one of my best friends. He's in
Yeah.
my wedding. So you always got. When you gotta say like
Yeah,
he's so
okay.
close. He's in my wedding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a good brother of mine, him and Tiare, his wife is here. Not only is
They
Daryl.
such local Maikai people. They're
the
so
greatest,
good-hearted.
man. And happy birthday, Tim. Sorry I didn't make it, but hey, happy birthday to my brother Tim.
What, in 22 now?
Yeah, well, he looked 22.
Yeah, Baga
He
is a
looked 20, yeah.
young buck over there.
Yeah. Black belt.
Exactly.
Jiu-jitsu. But he just competed in an event this past week.
Did he win it
But,
all again? Every time I see him,
yeah.
he's like
So he placed.
first or second in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
world. Like world,
he
not
placed.
just Vegas, world.
And that's so good that he's here. I mean, it's a long list. Kaleo Westbrook, Blaze Torres,
Yeah.
all my guys from Makaha and Waianae, they moved here. Also,
Yeah.
my Waimanalo Ohana is here. The Comans, my boy Daryl.
Oh,
Daryl
okay.
Coleman, my cousin
Yeah.
Kevin Lee is here.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister just moved here. My sister Leilani.
Brother Daryl was having fun at the bingo. That
Oh,
Daryl?
yeah. That's
The music bingo, yeah.
So Daryl, and then we always get together at each other's homes.
Yeah.
So you go to the house, barbecue, and the garage sessions is epic over
the
here.
garage.
Man. Oh man, I love it. So so family and friends, they're here. It's
Baba,
just like your home.
Baba B too, right? Yeah,
Baba
that's
B. I mean,
right.
endless, man. My nephews.
Oh, I can't
was up
imagine the
here.
garage sessions with Brother Baba
Oh, yeah.
jamming.
Oh, jeez. He did my nephew's graduation party in March? Oh, no. May 24th.
Right.
Him and Joseph So is here.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, the pros
Yeah.
with all that too. The events up here.
yeah.
I mean, you know what, bro? The events up here,
I mean,
you know what?
It's the entertainment capital of the world. It really is.
But
It trumps New York, in my opinion. Yeah.
But the island stuff we're talking about. Island
Okay,
concerts and all that.
okay,
But you know what? It's
yeah.
actually bigger here, bro. Because, we've been in this industry. And for
Right.
I can say, bro, Paulele them, I mean, they're making the moves up here.
Yeah.
I mean, you got...
There's huge events up here, right? So
yeah.
we're talking the Holo Holo Festival
Yeah.
that's up here. Pure Aloha also brought in a lot of great artists. What are the other big ones?
And
The 90s good old days,
that
yeah,
was
just
freaking incredible,
the first annual,
bro.
wow.
That was nuts, man.
Yeah, and that's going to grow too. That was the first, and they had like about 13, 14
You notice that
old
every
school
month,
groups.
You notice that every month that get bands from Hawaii that we know, and when they come up, we always, we're together, we're
Yeah,
up here,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
So
yeah.
So it's like we're at home, and that's like, Beautiful. That's a pro, man. And then when you go to the concerts, you see everybody from home. And then the other thing is, oh, how long you live up here?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you flew
exactly.
in. Oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. We just didn't move up here.
Yeah.
But then,
Or you run into somebody that's, I didn't know you lived up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been up here 5 years already. Yeah, yeah.
And the
you
next line they
reconnect.
say, what area is there?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
part is
exactly.
there?
Yeah.
Oh, I stay Summer
Like
Lake.
back
Oh, I
home,
stay
right?
back
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Where you from? Oh, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I
Right.
love. I love
You're
it.
right.
I
You're
love
right.
here.
Not
Man,
only just world entertainment, but you're right. There's a lot of great island-based
Yeah.
entertainment and festivals
Yeah.
that's going on up here.
Ohana and everybody. So the thing is too about up here is that when get events like that,
Right.
the same people go support.
Yeah.
You see them
yeah, yeah.
again. I mean, my cousin, Hinano. We get, my cousin Poi is up here who runs the
Right.
Sticky Inky,
Yeah,
Sticky
yeah.
Ink.
And Black Salt,
Yeah,
salt
Black Salt
marketing.
Marketing. They're here. I mean, my cousin Ona owns the beach house, Las
Right.
Vegas.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Not only the bigger events, but even the smaller events. Yeah, go out and support them, man. When you hear
Yeah, go check out the local.
somebody
what's going
coming
on.
into town and they're going through Vehile's coming into town. Hey, go check them out. Go support them. That way, more and more people, would want to be a part of that circuit
Yeah.
of, like
the crew at,
Micah G played over there. He was good fun.
Moonlight Lounge you get over here.
That's
all
right.
locally owned. You get
Yeah.
the Hale.
Hale,
Opalicious
yeah.
over there, and then Danny Kaheaku is
See,
here.
I've never been to the Hale. I've been
Yeah.
to Opalicious, for grinds, but I've never
Yeah.
gone to there when they, the Hale opened up here. So I
Yeah.
haven't been there yet. So I got to get there, and it's not too far from here.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
my good brother again, Danny Kahiaku, he runs the stuff over there.
Yeah.
Always tight. See, they're all here, so
Right.
it feels comfortable being here.
Right.
So,
Speaking of which, I saw an event that you're a part of with Get Nuts Wear.
Get nuts, yeah.
Speaking of all the local artists, because I did
Yeah.
see Kahiako, I did see Kalava was on it, Baba
Yeah,
B was
Baba
on the
B on
billing,
this
like
one.
all the local groups, right?
Yeah, so
Haleo Mano.
July 19th. So
July, okay.
So shout out to
Yeah.
Keola. He's the owner of Get Nuts, and
Yeah.
he's bringing a pop up here. So he did a pop up
Okay.
earlier this year, I believe, and last year.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he brings up his line, the Get Nuts gear.
Yeah.
And then they do like this 3-day thing.
Hawaii's family brand, I think, is their tag, and they've really take a lot of
Ohana.
strides forward.
Yes.
Like they've become one of the brands coming out of
And
Hawaii.
That
Yeah,
brand and Keola, he worked hard. He
Yeah.
worked really hard, and he's genuine,
yeah.
family oriented.
I
like
met
you
him
said.
once because I think this was 3 years ago, maybe. I was one of the MCs for Pure Aloha, and Augie T was also there. So
yeah.
Augie was great friends with him, and he Keola hooked up the entire staff with just free gear. So Pure Aloha, and it says Get Nuts, and all that. And I'm like, bro, he's given out a lot of freebies,
Genuine to get to where he
but
was.
it all
I mean,
comes back. So
and he
it's
paid
good.
his dues. His
Yeah.
dues, and right now, man, just getting the fruits of all that labor right there, man.
Right.
And, he's a very well family oriented man and all that. So good people to be around. Shout out Barakeola, and I'm looking
Right
forward to
on.
that one. The other thing, we had Frank De Lima over here.
That's right.
So
yeah.
he lives here. We did that concert, and we got to see the older
Sold out, by the way.
generation.
It was sold out.
Sold out, man. And thank you everybody who came out.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing, my biggest takeaway from that was the people that came. The older generation.
It was
there.
definitely
They
a
enjoyed
different
the song.
demographic. It was the older, established into your career, maybe even retired, and coming out to laugh. And everybody from Tutu to the youngest was laughing. Brother,
All the
Uncle
way.
Frank still got
'em.
it.
Yep, still get them. Shout out Frank,
Rah.
man. So that was a good one. Another thing about with family coming in right there, my brother Kavika and my sister Cheryl.
Yeah.
So they come out at least twice a month.
Where's Cheryl flying in from? Or drive?
Arizona.
From
Yeah,
is she
sometimes she
driving?
drives, sometimes
Okay.
she fly, depending
Okay.
on the kind, depending on her mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good that my family members are up here. So the only thing is this, more that I was waiting on my wife.
Right.
She's taking care of her ohana at home,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And
Yeah,
she
sending my
comes out.
alohas to Mio and the Ohana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just had a great weekend, and looking forward to more things out there. These
Yeah.
events, and they're nonstop. They're weekly. These events are weekly.
There's something, and if you want to, if you want to say island based, there's something going on every weekend, even on the weekdays
So true,
too.
bro.
There's again, we're already the entertainment capital of the world here in Las Vegas. Well, besides everything that's happening on the Strip or even downtown, there's a lot of just smaller events, island based that you can go out and support, or you can go play the tourist row and head out to the Strip. So that's definitely one of the biggest pros. You know what I like about living here in Las Vegas, and it comes along with the gambling too.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the biggest things that we do is the comps that we get from gambling.
I'm still getting used to that side.
Right, yeah, because you just moved here,
Yeah.
so I'm sure you've gotten a couple of offers, right? Maybe free play.
My free play
food
was
credit.
the only place so far that I've taken advantage of as the Silverton.
Silverton, okay.
So the Silverton
Okay.
monthly, they entice you to go there, and also the
Right.
rooms. Also got some Sunset Station.
Sunset Station,
So free,
yeah.
free hotel rooms.
Right.
The players card.
Yeah.
I was anti-players cards, up here because I always thought they're tracking you.
Right. But like you thought they were tracking you, and it was
Yeah, so like if you win, then they're kind of not gonna let you in. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
like preventing you from winning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's a
Like,
big myth too. Yeah. I think we started to allude to that on the gambleisms, but always use it. First of all, go ahead and get a loyalty program, whatever they have. I know like MGM rewards, Caesars rewards. That's like the big ones on the strip, right? Then you got like Boyd Properties, right downtown.
I just got my
yeah.
Boyd one 2 days ago. Went to
Yeah.
Aliante.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know that Boyd Properties own them, or Boyd
Yeah.
Gaming
I
back in the
didn't
days.
even know.
Yeah.
So
So,
I
you're
went-
talking Aliante, California, Fremont, Main Street. That's
But
Boyd
I noticed
Properties.
I never get nothing. But when I did the Silverton thing, when it was the first, whatever, they gave me like a $40 free play. But I noticed now
when
they
you
do this-
signed up,
Yeah,
$40.
I got-
Whoa,
yeah, I got-
that's
yeah.
actually massive.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I noticed what they do is tier things now. You
Right,
You got to
right.
kind of travel up the whatever. To
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
free play.
Every loyalty program will be tiered. Like if you just signed up, then if you play so much, you get another level. And of course, as you hit this different tier levels, your comps are different.
What do they do
right?
about our actual tiers? No.
That happens every time.
We
Every
lose.
time I go
We
casino,
lose.
I hit one tier.
No more actual tiers level. They can just
Tiers
slide me
level.
back what I put back in. What I put
Hey,
in
if there was tiers level, then I would be the top.
yeah, platinum.
At least we had fun.
Platinum. I know, yeah. We had fun, right?
Yeah, we did, right? But a lot of people don't know. Okay, so we're talking about you get free room offers, and it's a trip too because you're a local and you still get room offers too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So every once in a while, it's good to do a staycation. We're talking free gifts. I used to run special events at the M Resort, and one of the things that fell under our umbrella was gift giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you gamble, you get gift offers, and we're talking like giving out hoodies and T-shirts and kitchenware and
Backpacks, too, I seen that.
all kinds of stuff. Like,
When I saw at the Silverton, bro, had the kind buddy was giving her rice cookers.
yeah.
Yeah.
People do that. We used to do that too, and like I
That's
think
a
right
local,
now,
that was
yeah.
only local because I still had my
Right,
my
yeah.
Utah ID, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
I never can't qualify for that one.
The exciting thing when I was working at the M is like we probably gave out the most gifts than any casino. Like we would do 3 to 4 times a week.
Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. Raiders headquarters. But yeah, so before I left the M Resort, this was coming out of the pandemic. We were the Raiders headquarters. They still are, but we're talking like hoodies. We're talking, what do you call that? Like earbuds and hats and everything with the Raiders logo. So we gave out all of that kind of stuff too. But again, the more you play, the bigger your prize is, or the bigger comp.
Right,
So
right.
comps is short for complimentary rewards. So basically, if you play more, you get more. And then we're
okay.
talking. When my wife and I used to play for Caesars Rewards, yeah. So Caesars is like Caesars Palace, Flamingo. Like the strip is almost split in two with MGM on one side and Caesars Properties on the other. Yeah, we used to always go to Caesars Rewards.
So
And
you would recommend use the card then?
Absolutely.
Bro, me, I'm anti.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
every time when I don't, man, but I was like, wow, you gotta put your card in.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I had this
Well,
misconception.
how you gonna get rewarded if they don't know you're playing? Yeah.
But I had this misconception that there
Yeah.
was anybody tracking me. That was
Right.
dumb. But here's the other thing. I keep forgetting my card too, man. In the
Yeah.
machine. When we drive home. I still like this. I go, I forgot my card in the machine.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But the good thing is you can keep on. You can keep going back. And
Right.
grabbing
And
them.
then nowadays, because they cut back on employees, like they have kiosks where you can just reprint your own card
over
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
When we were kind of at the height of our receiving comps, because when we first moved here, I'd say maybe about 2-3 years into moving here, and then we started playing at the Caesars Rewards properties. Like we were getting boat cruises.
Jeez.
Like Norwegian boat cruises,
Damn.
and we took advantage of it.
Free?
Yeah,
Discounted?
free. No,
Oh,
free.
wow.
I mean, it's the inner room. It's not like the balcony rooms, but
Nah, but
free.
still, yeah.
Yeah, so we took advantage. I believe maybe about 3 boat cruises, but this is when we had. Both of us were working and we had a lot of expendable income. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nowadays, it's a little different. We don't play as much on the strip, so we still get room offers, but they don't cover our resort fees, which is crazy. We'll give you the free room, but you still got to pay $50 a night for resort credit. So you're still paying $200 for the room, plus taxes. So and plus parking. So we figured like, okay, let's just put whatever we're going to spend on gambling, let's put it into the local casinos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, Silverton, Green Valley, South Point. Yeah. Even the M Resort. I rarely go there because,
Yeah, the M is there. Of course, the Raiders over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Another a good pros because of if you're getting comp, like just skipping the line. Sometimes you when you're a higher level, they let you skip the line. You can walk straight up into the restaurant and be first. Because you're a higher level. So
I had on discount too. This is the first time I used I just moved here. I used my my station card for go eat.
Yeah.
And my meal, I had the chicken fried steak. The country fried steak and the gravy and eggs and all that, and the pancakes. Honestly. And I'm not sponsored by them, obviously, but my meal came out to $6.99, bro. $6.99. So it was like $24.
So you had a discount coupon, or did you use
I just used and ask if I had my card.
Yeah.
And so when the check came, bro, I was like, wow, this is
so
awesome.
right there, that's confirmation. Like always use your card because as you use your cards, you're accumulating points, right? You can use those points to cover your meal. So you probably covered majority of your meal.
See me, bro. See, I'm rookie still.
Yeah. So use your
card. I'll get them down. So again, ladies and gentlemen, use your card.
Use the card. That's definitely to receive comps because again, if you don't use it, they don't know that you're playing there. So let them know that you're playing there. Yeah. So comps. Oh, love it. It's not as much as we used to have, but we still get a few there. Yeah.
Now let's get into the cons of living here in Las Vegas.
Yeah. What do you think? What is like your biggest con about Vegas currently? I guess
currently, right now, for me, the drivers,
people on the road. How do you drive?
Driving, yeah, bro. So what I noticed over here, they run the red light, bro. You know what I mean? Like you said the stoplight.
I just saw one today.
I don't trust the green light, so I always pause now and let the driver double check because before. I'll see these guys. I mean, daily. Anytime I'll be on the road, at least I see somebody speeding through and going through. Now we're not talking yellow. You know what I mean?
We're talking full blown red.
Yeah, that bugger been red. You know what I'm saying?
Every day when I pick up my son from work, I was like, that dude went through a full blown red.
That's full blown.
Full blown red. Like it wasn't even close, bro.
What makes you think that's cool, man? And these guys. And then the other thing up here is no more racing. You do the. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I do that too. Go.
Every once in a while you get it, but majority of the time,
they lose it. They go ahead, bomb. And then
do you think it's worse than Hawaii? Like I know Hawaii, we say, you throw up the shaka, come in. Yeah, but worse. Even Hawaii is kind of losing that a little too, right? Yeah.
But it's worse to me. It's worse. These drivers over here cannot drive for crap. The speeding. These guys disrupt the traffic. You know what I mean? These guys do. Well, get some crazy guys out
You get like road rage, like when you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, every month had on road rage incident over here where people got out of the car and people getting shot for this, bro.
Right. I just recently saw a video that was on a timeline somewhere on social network where the person got out and they started like punching through the window. I'm like, bro, that's some rage right there.
So that's one thing too. If you guys moving up here, it's not like Hawaii. They don't do this bugger right here.
Yeah, and the moto up and up. Yeah.
So that's the other thing that I don't like about here. And my other con, get my cons out of the way, is that the heat.
The heat.
the heat. For the first time ever, I don't know if you guys can see, but I get chapped lips, bro. So I never use that. What is that? The kind of chapstick.
Yeah.
So
this portion of the podcast is sponsored by chapsticks.
This is the first. I used to tease people, like my friends who use that. I'm using that for. But this past weekend, I found myself like, oh my god, this thing's sore, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The dry heat. I don't know what causes.
I've had a constant chap like right here. It never like even if I put chapstick, it just never stays moisturized and it's always peeling like oh. Yeah.
So that right there, the heat.
Yeah.
Obviously, stay indoors. I don't know how construction, but I used to work carpentry and all that. I don't know how.
You know what? I never thought about that. Yeah.
How are they surviving? Because you literally go mock it, man.
It's hot. Like right now, or like yesterday was like 110.
Yeah. Did it start in the morning? They gotta do night work.
Yeah, I believe they start early morning, and then like maybe about noon, they're probably done already. You know what I mean? There's no because even like 6, 7 in the evening is still hot, 99, 100 degrees. You know what I mean? I remember. I think it was last week. I remember like looking at it. I was like, man, it's 10 o'clock and it's still 101 degrees. What? That doesn't make sense.
Weekend, 100 degrees, 10 o'clock will be at night.
Heat wave, yeah.
Yeah, and then my pool, the thing evaporating, so I don't know what to do. Like it went down.
What?
Like 4 inches went off.
Really?
So I look up and it said that get evaporation. So I was like, what the heck?
Doesn't the pool? Does it refill himself? Like, how does that work?
Again, I'm rookie to all of this, right?
So are you like there with the garden hose filling them up?
I don't know.
How do you fill up your pool?
I got to tell my pool guy. He come tomorrow, bro. How do we do this?
My pool guy.
Yeah, go pool guy, bro.
Bruh. Weather's. Do you prefer extremely hot or extremely cold? Because a lot of people don't realize like Vegas gets cold too.
It's freezing.
Yeah, it's literally under freezing. Yeah,
it's either or, freezing or freaking boiling hot.
But do you like the hot versus the cold?
I rather have the cold. You know
Yeah,
why? Because
me too.
you can wear the hoodies. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can cover up and all that. Well, if I gotta be outside.
Yeah, at least cold you can put on the hoodies and get comfortable.
And the thing is, when cold over here is sunny, so that in the daytime because it's cold, but it's blue skies.
Yeah,
but freezing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can get down to below freezing, which is 32 degrees below, and still be nice and clear. And a lot of people will say like, "Wow, you guys were at 31 degrees, but there's no snow." Well, just because there's very little precipitation, right? There's no rain. We got to have rain to turn into snow. But because we're in a desert, we'll get the sunshine, but don't let that fool you. And you can still be at 30 degrees.
Weather over here, gang, is bipolar. Exactly. We're going through it right now. I had a dust storm for no reason.
That's and right. Just the other day.
Rain, the storming rain, right? And it happens, for 20 minutes and power is back to boiling hot. So that's the thing I'm trying to
Which is why we have a lot of flash flood warnings because again, we rarely get rain here in the desert. So the ground is just really solid, right? Like the dirt. So when it rains and downpours really quickly, like in 10 minutes, because the ground is so solid, it doesn't absorb the rain. Like back home, the soil back home, it'll absorb all the rain.
The water table.
Yeah, exactly. So here, man, it keeps flowing into it, finds like a big wash. Out. Yeah, where it can go in and big basins around town.
I know this is a circle or something always get flooded at the casinos.
Circle. You know where it always gets flooded is at the Link.
The Link.
The Link. Oh, bro, like it's a raging river.
Vegas.
No. The Link is smack dab center strip. So the Link is where to get the Link Promenade by Link, Flamingo, Paris.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all part of the Caesar side of it all. Mm-hmm. But behind the Link, the parking lot. That's the main place where it floods. I mean, it floods
rivers, bro.
Yeah, and then they have big basins to absorb all this water, but it comes down so fast, and a lot of water in it's a raging river, and like wow, like they never figured that out yet. Why is it keep
and get people underneath, Get people living underneath,
that's a whole another story. Yeah, they call it the mole people. Like I've binge watched on YouTube about the mole people living, and one of them there was like a couple from Hawaii, and a lot of people are saying like we'd rather just stay down here.
I saw that.
Nobody bothers us. We love it here. It's quiet. Everybody knows each other.
Under the city. I mean, right under the strip, ladies and gentlemen. There's a community of people that lives underground. Wow, it's crazy.
I remember one episode. This organization came up through from underneath and went up, and it was right in front of Caesar's Palace.
Oh yeah, they didn't pop up. Right,
yeah, it's like right there, and then you don't know. You're just walking, and right underneath you, there's people living there, literally. And but like you said, when the rains come,
yeah, wipe out
everything that they've been collecting over the last year or so. Because every year there's at least one to three big downfalls, and it washes everything out.
And windy. When the wind pick up over here, my brother, man.
The dust storm was pretty crazy. That just happened. Yeah,
that was a nuts. Seen one guy, and people was posting, couldn't even see when it was
like driving. Visibility was almost at zero, maybe 1%. Like you can see right in front. You know what was weird is, I wonder if I still have the message here. Let me see if I have it.
Oh, had one the warning.
Yeah. But they were saying how to. Okay, I don't
on the
have
side
it.
or something like that.
But they were saying to during a dust storm to pull aside, turn off your lights, and that kind of threw me off.
They figure let the people see you, right?
Yeah, because you would think, keep your light on. That way, visibility, even though it's just a couple of feet, if you see a light, then you know there's another car there. But they said to pull off on the side, turn off your lights. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I don't know what the theory behind it. Maybe I read it incorrectly, but that's what I read. Like, pull off to the side, turn off your lights. That's the safest thing to do. I was like, eh? That didn't make sense.
Much rules, man. That's why I just Uber.
Yeah, just Uber. All right.
That's the other thing that's the Uber drivers over here, 24/7, man, fast.
Right. Okay. Oh, I lost my notes over here. Keep talking, brother. Keep talking.
Back to cons, yeah.
Yeah.
Expensive. The strip is getting dumb.
Oh,
resort fees, the park. They're charging for parking now.
Yeah,
on the strip, right?
Yeah.
It's started for parking, the resorts fees.
Everybody started charging, but I know like one casino decided now to go back to no parking. So hopefully that starts to trend backwards. But before, free parking because you want people to come.
Yeah.
We'll get your money from gambling. We give you free parking. Just come on. But now it's greedy, bro.
Yeah,
greedy.
That makes sense, man. It's freaking crazy. And then what's that? The buffets no more anymore. Whatever. Not the cheap ones, right?
A lot of the buffets, especially coming out of the pandemic, I would say more than half of the properties that had buffets no longer have it. And the ones that got rid of their buffets was like my favorites. Green Valley. I used to always go to the buffet there. You know what I mean? And you could.
That's my home casino, man. Buffets would have been a bomb.
Green Valley. The Silverton had a Polynesian buffet.
I heard about that.
Bruh, we talking about you can. I mean, part of the buffet was Lūʻau. I mean, unlimited poke.
Holy crap!
Shoyu poke, ahilimu poke was all available.
Damn,
bruh, I used to I got my poke worth, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
how much was it?
I think it was about like maybe $35 to $40.
That's it.
But we're talking about all you can eat poke, Lūʻau, and
works.
they had all the good dishes too. They had all the components of a Hawaiian plate and more. So I'm like, man, I missed that. And I remember every once in a while they used to do 2-for-1 buffets. So I'm like, ooh, let's go Polynesian buffet 2-for-1. Like our family used to take advantage of all that pros.
Man, I wonder if we get buffets now though. What's a good spot?
Yeah, so like for us, South Point is nearby.
Oh,
so that's one of the big ones that's nearby.
That
I rarely
buffet?
go. Yeah, buffet. Yeah. So I rarely go to the strip, so I don't know which strip properties still have. I think MGM, the Bacchanal buffet, which is the really expensive one. That's the one, like it's almost $100 per person. But they have all these, different dishes that it's higher end stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some crab legs.
I think didn't Main Street reopen their buffet?
I have no idea about that side. I never. The only time I went Main Street was when I went to the Cow. Since I moved here, I never went to that area yet. Like the Fremont experience.
You gotta get up. You're so sheltered.
I know, bro. Man, you know why? Because I get everything at home.
Yeah, exactly. You know what is a big con? And when everybody say, "Hey, we're thinking about moving to Las Vegas," I tell them everything's here, right?
Yeah.
You got the local music, the local food, the people are here, the culture is here. The only thing that I really miss the most is the beach.
Oh, yeah,
right? Yeah. Like if you grew up on the islands, then the beach was a part of your culture, right? Going to the beach. We didn't go every weekend, but it's comparable to like here in Vegas. When you say I'm going to go out, that means most likely you're going to go to the casino, right? Back home, going to the beach was one of our options, right? It was something that we would do, right? Because you could go, it's free, bring the whole family, hang out at the beach for the whole day. And again, we didn't do it every time, but it was there for us to use.
When I first moved up here 6 years ago when I was in St. George, my first year I had a problem, okay? I was like, because that was the first time I ever moved to the mainland and I was off the island.
Right.
Is that I couldn't see the horizon, the water. So when I couldn't see that, that's when I felt the very first time claustrophobic, like, oh no, I cannot see the ocean. So that was one thing. Got over it too, because I'm not really one beach guy. I'm more garage, of course. But
are you a bitch guy?
Biatch.
I think you are.
But you know what they do now though, which I never tried, and I don't think it's the same. But going to the lake, I cannot go.
Yeah, see, I think I went out to the lake maybe once or twice, but yeah, it's just not the same vibe.
Lake Mead,
yeah, Lake Mead, which is it's a big lake, but it's receded over the last 2 decades that I've been here. Like literally, like we're talking about over 100 feet
Hundreds
receding.
of feet,
Yeah. You can see on the rocks where the water level used to be. You see all these levels where I know they're trying to conserve, like they had this huge campaign that's still going on where where Vegas and California and everybody's saving where you can start replenishing.
I got busted one time. I was
for keeping your sprinklers on.
I go wash my car. And the neighbor came outside and go, hey, it's all the guy. Hey, you can't do that. They had this white car. They came. It was like the water police or something. So they said.
So did your neighbor call them on you?
I think so. Yeah. I never get a ticket. Not at this house. It was out on the Airbnb was running. It was so funny. Bro. I was over there. Oh, I never meet. I was just thinking, bro, I'm gonna just wash my truck on fast and lose them. I was like, now I get it. The conservation part, because every season, like my house get the sprinklers now. Right. So we got a new system in there, and then it shows you when you can water and all that. So that's something else. But you guys gotta get used to.
Yeah, that's just a big part of living here that you just gotta do.
Wednesdays and Thursdays or something. You cannot water on Sundays.
And they have huge ad campaigns about this, right? When to water, your watering group and stuff like that.
Which neighborhood can. So so getting used to that over here, bro. And
so,
HVAC stuff. Ooh,
what HVAC is? That's like AC
things, AC and heat and all that. So you gotta kind of get, especially when you plan to move here from Hawaii, you're not kind of used to
Hawaii. You open the windows, you get that small kind makani, that breeze coming through, then you okay, right?
If you open the window, feel like on hair dryer.
Bruh, as soon as you open, like step outside, you get smothered by the heat, right? That's really the word, like boom, it just kind of hits your face, like whoa.
When you go out the casino, the door open.
Sometimes that feels good initially. Sometimes like you're in a casino, it's cold, then you open up like, oh, that feels good, and then
until you get halfway to your car.
That's crazy. Another big con that I wanted, I guess this is almost kind of like a pro and a con, because we live in Las Vegas and the casinos are always open. Like you mentioned, you can always go.
You're right.
Sometimes the con for being here in Las Vegas is that temptation. That temptation to gamble. Again, 3 a.m. in the morning. Hey, we go Green Valley. We're not tired. Let's go. Temptation to gamble. And let's be honest, gambling most of the times, 95% of the time, you're losing. Right? Yeah. Casinos are built on losers, really. So that temptation to go, and because again, we just can't go to the beach where it's
so now
free.
You're going there and you're like, and then just remember this one right here, about make sure the bills are paid. Bills are paid, then go.
On a serious note,
that's my thing.
Whatever you're gambling, whatever your budget is, make sure you covered all your bills first, pay up your debts, and then I can allot myself $200 to gamble tonight, or whatever the case is. Make sure you take care of your bills.
And remember that whatever you see on social media, they're not showing you the losses. You see what I'm saying? They're showing you all the wins and then all that kind of stuff. But you know what, bro? They're not showing how much they would put in.
There's we talked about this in Gambleisms, where there's some YouTubers out there, or there's a lot of YouTubers that show, them going to the casinos and playing. And show that they lost too, which is, to me, I really feel like that's a responsible thing to do, because if you're just showing the wins, and we know there's more losses than wins, then everybody think, oh, I would love to do that. Yeah.
No, but again, you're thinking, okay, oh wow, this guy keep on winning. Let's try that machine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But yeah, Brown, yeah.
I mean, that's cool. That's on a positive note. Yeah. Oh,
I like watching the wins.
Play that. Yeah.
It kind of gets me to not go casino. I can just pop on YouTube. You know what I mean? And go watch this.
You know what? That's a good point. It actually kind of fulfills, like you said, that
little rush.
That little rush of winning.
And you're going for them too. So I like when the what is that? The thumbnails and the clickbait.
Right.
You never believe how much. So I watch all this, but now I'm so used to watching gambling videos that I afford. Afford. I look how much money they get. I look how much money they get. Funny. They keep going down.
Yeah.
And then I pause them right when they get the bonus.
Yeah.
That's where I go.
That's what I do too. Like there's one of my favorite YouTuber for gambling. His name is Vegas Lūau. Vegas Lūau. His name is Daniel, but he's funny. He's very entertaining. So when he's playing, he's just making jokes, and he has all his gambleisms that he says, and it's real fun. But nowadays, like I'll forward, like you said, and then once I see the bonus, and then I rewind just a little. So I'm looking for all the bonuses. Yeah. But very entertaining, and then he also shows his losses too, right? Yeah, which is really good.
My favorite is Vegas Matt.
Vegas
Matt, man. I gotta meet this guy, bro. Him and his son, they're so funny, bro.
It would be really cool to have him on our podcast.
Yeah, he does. He
one
jumps
of them.
on a lot of podcasts too. Yeah. It explains his life and all that. But Vegas Matt, we're looking for you, my brother.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out his video, bro, incredible. The things that he does and the amount that he wagers is incredible.
Yesterday,
but he can.
Yesterday we go watch him doing $50 spins, right?
Yeah.
So he puts in $6,000. Yeah, $6,000 wipe out. Guess so that first $6,000
what?
gone. He put it in second $6,000 win.
Yeah.
So I show him, and then again when he does lose, then he goes at the end of the video and say, guys, I can do this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He has that expendable income. Yeah. So I'm sure he's a millionaire, right?
Yeah, and I was watching him do. Yeah, he's real estate too.
Yeah. I always wonder, like all these big channels, what do they do? Really do? Like he's betting $1,000 a spin. What?
Bro, when I seen that one that do the $1,000 ones, oh man, bro, that's about.
There's been times when I would watch somebody on YouTube and I'm like, I feel sick to my stomach, it was me, like. They just lost $5,000 in 3 minutes. Yeah. Like how?
And I just, me and Mio was watching this, and then she told me, she goes, "Oh my God, he's just lost $1,000 in 2 minutes."
Yeah.
But I go in like this. You got to remember, like you're a millionaire and billionaires, just move the zeros. Move the dot, then go ahead. Because their $1,000 is legitimately our dollar. To us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well,
the ratio
to the regular human beings.
Well, they'll like or like their $1,000 is like our $20. You know, we're putting in.
Yeah. And they play it like that. They're fine.
Right.
You know
so like us, when we lose $20, it's not so bad. So for them losing $2,000, okay, we're getting started. We're warming up there. Yeah.
They warm up with $5,000.
Bro, I'll be crying already. It's $1,000. I'll be crying, bro.
Lose $1,000, brother. You got a problem about it.
Bro,
you gotta go I think I have a problem. You gotta go GA, bro. GA. All right, man. That's all I got. That was my pros and cons, man.
Same here, but I know there's a lot of pros, and hopefully there's not as much cons, but there's a lot of pros and cons to move anywhere, right?
Many con people over here too, though, so watch out for that.
Oh, bro. Okay, quick story. You just reminded me. Before I first moved here, one of the biggest, I got conned was this person that was asking for money.
Right.
And, coming from the church realms and, just always giving, the person was like, can I get a couple of bucks?
Yeah.
I need to get some food. And I was like, well, if you need some food, we were coming out of a restaurant and we had a lot of extra food. So I said, well, if you're looking for food, here, take this. And mind you, this is food that I was planning on eating later on. And it was like good food, you know what I mean? I was like, take this, man. We can get something else. He was like, oh, thank you so much. I don't have money, but I have food. Okay. Takes it, walking away. And then I look back, the bugger went throw me in a trash can.
Oh, no.
I was like, ooh. So that was my first exposure to being conned. Yeah. Not to mention maybe about a month or two after that, somebody walked up to me and said, oh, you from Hawaii? I think they kind of know how to read you.
Yeah.
You from Hawaii? Oh, yeah, I get family and friends. Hey, man, I lost my wallet. I just need $40, But me, being the Aloha person, come follow me. Follow me. I went to the ATM, put out $40. And, I go, give me your number so I can contact you just to make sure. I call that number. That number was yeah. So I got conned out of $40. So
I always tell people that come up here too, like my family members, especially my wife, I say, don't talk to people. Because when they come up to her and they're talking to her, okay, so when I far away, because aloha,
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so hard because we come from a culture of
trusting, but this guy, when he was talking to her, and I already could tell the body, in the body language. So I walked over there, kind of shoo the guy away, because trying to make buddy, but watch out, bro. Like for me, I don't trust nobody over here unless they get on one Hawaii's finest T-shirt.
Exactly. Or they get on big tribal tattoo.
If they get on Kahuku shirt,
exactly,
slippers.
Then that's a real bona fide local.
Yeah. They're walking
exactly.
with slip me. I listen how they're talking, and I goes, okay, they saw me.
I like that too. When you listen, like, okay, they get the pidgin accent. Okay, they're from Hawaii. So my first thing is like, you from Hawaii?
Yeah. The first thing they get the Get Nuts out of there. I seen somebody with the Get Nuts jersey, so we're already the bond from far away.
Yeah. Hey, Howzit? Yeah.
Or you check the parking lot, you get the stickers. Yeah, you get the you get the islands on the back of the car. They solid.
Yeah. But definitely, I like that point. You got one of the cons is the cons.
Yeah.
So be aware of that because, again, and I still try to give and be hospitable to people in need, but I'm way more cautious because of those two exposures that I had when I first moved here. So I just try to be careful. I
did that too when I first moved here and gave. Saw the bugger working somebody else right after that.
Yeah, and they walk into their Mercedes and then drive away.
So if you don't speak pidgin, you're not getting nothing from me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so pros and cons about living here in Las Vegas. For those in Las Vegas, let us know. Drop it in the comments. What are some things that we miss? And hopefully those of you that are contemplating about moving here can listen to a few things. Yeah.
23 years he's been here, so he should know.
Yeah, and you've been here 23 months. Maybe.
23 hours.
All right. At Hawaiian Radio, out on Facebook, Instagram, out on YouTube, at Big Teeze.
Yes, sir. All platforms. Come find us, guys.
Yeah, so go check it out, all right? Again, Vegas Lūau Podcast, Big Teeze, Puʻukani. Mahalo for surfing on in. Aloha.